Hi everyone, just thought I'd pop in for a little bit this episode. Hope everyone's had a really nice Easter weekend, stuck in the house. So a little thing that me and Sam have been talking about is obviously the variety of things that we talk about in these videos and trying to dig a little bit deeper into the company and the things that we do. So a little thing that I wanted to talk about this week is the process of optioning scripts and optioning ideas from other writers. So the process for me really in terms of that is, obviously reading the scripts, seeing what we can do with that script and what we can do, turning that into a film from a piece of paper to a film. And a big thing that plays into my mind when I am reading these scripts is who can work on this film, who in terms of the director is probably the main thing that I work on and think about first. And, my mind just races when I read certain scripts and I think about, cast and crew and everything, and locations and the style of it all. Obviously, as producer, it wouldn't be my job to dictate the vision of the film or the story too much, but I can't help myself. So when I'm reading these scripts, and if something captures my imagination and I can see it coming to life, that's the kind of script that I'd be looking to option and produce through our company. It's been brilliant to read other people's work. It's something that I'm really passionate about, is seeing what other people are doing, whether it be films or scripts. I'm always watching short films from my peers, always reading scripts, and whenever I see someone talk about writing a script, they can expect me to message them quite quickly and ask them if I can read it, because I'm just so eager to see what everyone else is up to and the kind of ideas that people are coming up with, and just to see different writing styles and filmmaking styles is such an important part and an interesting part of what we do as well. So I guess the point of this little segment of the video is, again, give you an insight into what I'm up to, apart from gardening and relaxing. Over the weekend I've been reading scripts and planning 2021, all being well, with a few more short films and new writers and directors there. And it is, it's for the benefit of the company, but it's also quite a selfish thing I do as well, because I just enjoy it that much. I love just reading other people's work and seeing what I can learn from that, and if I can support them and help them and bring those stories to life as well, then even better. So I guess the takeaway message from that is, if you've got a script, if you've got an idea, if you've got a short film, send it our way, get in touch. We always, all the team is really, really keen to see more work, so keep it coming, keep sending them in.
Hey everyone, my name's Heather. I am the editor-in-chief and the founder of the Valkyries. If you don't know what we are about or who we are, shame on you. Joke. So we're an online publication, similar to JumpCut. We do film reviews, but also we do comics, games, tabletop, a bit of tech here and there. We just sort of cover the whole nerd sphere that we're all a big part of. You can find us at thevalkyries.co.uk, or we are on YouTube, and you can check out the podcast over on Spotify or whatever your preferred podcast platform may be. It's really good for your government allowed warp time. You can have a little listen to what we're talking about. So we, like I said, cover all the sort of nerdy things. It's kind of business as usual for us at the moment. I've been furloughed from my 9 to 5, which has given me a bit more time to catch up on stuff I've wanted to write about that the team's been handling up till now. Loads of really good stuff still scheduled. We've just covered a few films from the BFI Flare, which unfortunately we were meant to go down to London for, but obviously lockdown, so we couldn't head down, but it's all online. So that was the last few weeks, and the team did really well to like bring all that together still, so it's been a really good experience even if it has been online. So we've covered a couple of world premieres, one of which is available to read now, other ones coming soon. I'm not sure what day it is. Soon. And yeah, so we're going to keep sort of trucking along. That's all we all can do, really. We've been taking part in the Tri-Quizzed tournament, which has been a huge fun and really well organised. So all the JumpCut boys and girls need a little pat on the back for that one, because they've done really, really well. I'm not going to tell you how I'm getting on, because that would be a spoiler. So you're going to listen to the episodes and judge for yourself on whether the questions were too hard, which they were. And yeah, and we're gonna do hopefully some party games over on Twitch at some point, so we'll let you guys know if you want to get involved. You totally can. But yeah, stay safe, keep the spirits high. If you haven't been out for like a week, go for a walk, even if it's at like midnight. Just go for a little strut around your neighborhood. If you got to reach out to JumpCut, reach out to us. We're always here, we're always on Twitter. Probably should have more stuff to say, but I've just been hanging out with my cat, playing Kingdom Hearts, baking cake. Yeah, be good.
Hey everybody, I'm Cory. You may well know me as the writer of I Love You Guys, which we will obviously be filming eventually, when it's safe to do so. I also keep tabs on the actors databases we have. That kind of involves just scouting around short films, maybe Spotlight, maybe Mandy, looking for people who we think may be cool to work with one day. So when the time comes for a new short film, we can go in there, scan about for what sort of person we're looking for, and start to get a rough idea of who we'd like to see for auditions, and you know, before long you've got yourself a cast. So yeah, I thought I would just drop by, say hi, introduce myself, and let you know what I've been up to after I Love You Guys, which rather excitingly isn't much. It was quite a hard writing process for me. Number one, because I've never shared my work with the world publicly before, so be gentle. But in all seriousness, it's just that brought a whole new kind of pressure to me. And I think also it's just obviously a script that touches on mental health quite heavily, so it was very draining to write. So yeah, I just needed to have a little rest afterwards, which I have been doing. But since then I've kind of just gone back to studying screenwriting, really, just enhancing my knowledge, get myself set for new projects, and it's kind of really rekindled the love that I had, because I think I got a bit tired, but I feel super refreshed now and actually pretty excited. I've got a few ideas bubbling around, which I'm very looking forward to exploring, and all being well, you'll be hearing more about them soon. But obviously for now, just stay safe everyone, try to keep smiling. Believe me, we're going to have a hell of a lot of very exciting, very interesting, very engaging, very fun things for you to see in the eventual future. So yeah, see you guys soon.
So just out on a walk today. It's Sunday today, so kind of taking a break from everything today, which I try to do quite often, you know, always try and have one day where I don't do much, really. Another thing that I wanted to talk about this week, just kind of pinning on the back of what I talked about earlier in the video, is the kind of the back end of the fact that I read a lot of scripts from people. Whenever I read scripts, I try and give as much feedback as I can to those people, so they can, you know, keep working on their scripts. And I always try to be very honest with my feedback and very thorough and as critical as I can be, really, without, you know, being a dick about it. I'd expect the same from other people, which is why I do that whenever I give feedback. You know, getting feedback of yeah, it's good. Is not very useful or helpful for anyone really. So I do really try and nitpick and dig deep and give a lot of advice going forward. Whether people take that advice or not is completely up to them. I would never expect people to take my word as kind of gospel on their script. And I think, you know, the key to receiving feedback is just being open to that and you know, respecting the fact that the person who's giving that feedback might misinterpret things that you've written, and they might not know best, you know, but at the end of the day, that person has taken the time to read and feedback, which is why, you know, I'm always really appreciative whenever people do that for me. And to be honest, I've had pretty much nothing but good interactions with people who have sent me their scripts and that I've sent feedback to. It's always been a response of appreciation and respect for what I've gone through there to give the feedback. I talk about this really because I've had some feedback recently on the latest draft of It Calls Me, which, you know, left a little bit of work to be done still, which is, you know, to be expected. It can be a bit frustrating. I think when you first get feedback like that that says, you know, it's not done yet, there's work to be done, it can be a little bit disheartening, but I think it's important not to see it as such and to use that feedback as motivation to complete the project, essentially complete the script that in a way that will kind of you know, resonate with a lot of people and eventually will leave a lot of people happy. I think it's impossible to write a script that everyone would be abundantly happy with. There's always going to be room for improvement. I think as writers, we all know that anyway. Nothing's ever perfect, nothing's ever finished. But yeah, so I think it's you know, I sat on the feedback that I got for a few days actually, trying to just digest it and get to grips with it. There was a lot of feedback, very thorough feedback, which is brilliant. As I say, exactly what a writer needs. And I think it's always good to take that time to read it and read it again and really understand the points that the critique is making and take that going forward. So, you know, this isn't I'm not trying to patronise people or warn people not to be happy with my feedback or anything like that at all. It's just basically a celebration of the fact that I've had nothing but great interactions with people that have sent scripts. You know, I can't really think of a time when I've sent feedback to someone and they've flat out refused that feedback or rejected it and said it's, you know, a load of shit, really. Everyone's always been really positive and finding the feedback as a motivation rather than a disheartening kind of effect is crucial. So yeah, I think it's really important that as writers we listen to other writers and learn from each other as much as possible, which is something that I do work really hard on, kind of garnering that kind of atmosphere and experiences for the people that I do speak to. So hopefully that works, and hopefully this makes a bit of sense, this ramble that I've just done while I'm out in the woods.